Welcome to the Miracle You, guiding you on the journey towards finding passion and purpose, and how to discover, create, and live a life by your design. Whether your success has been plentiful or your missed opportunities have been overwhelming, we can help you become a more empowered, masterful person and show you how to share your gift with the world. It's time to inspire change from within with the host of the Miracle You, Vince Kramer.
Hello, imagination. I'm Vince Kramer, your host, and welcome to the Miracle You, where you learn about the magic of living your life by finding the example in real life. There is guidance available to each and every one of us. That guidance is the higher vibration of universal energy, that energy that we're all a part of. We have the opportunities to find the answers that we're looking for from this guidance whenever we want it. And tapping into the divine guidance is really what will help each and every one of us move forward. Sometimes this guidance comes through channels, and these channels, of which I'm one, bring through this information as truly an open channel, if you will, kind of a tube to allow the higher vibrational information to be fed through us and to be shared with the collective, to be shared with the general populace, to be shared with those people who, through the law of attraction, are coming to these channels to get this information, to be confirmed of their knowledge of divine will, of divine knowledge, of divine guidance in a way that they can truly transform their lives to live fully who they're meant to be. Today, we're going to share with one of those channels, Christy Whitman, who's been with us before, in a way that you'll learn the importance of desire, you'll learn the importance of energy in our short conversation. I'm with Christy Whitman today, and Christy is a transformational leader, celebrity coach, and law of attraction expert, as well as the two-time New York Times best-selling author of Art of Having It All and Taming Your Alpha Bitch. She is also the channel for a group of super beings called the Council. Christy is the CEO and founder of the Quantum Success Learning Academy and the Quantum Success Coaching Academy, a 10-month law of attraction coaching certification program. She has helped certify over 3,000 life coaches and has helped countless others to unlock their power to manifest. She has appeared on the Today Show, The Morning Show, TEDx, and the Hallmark Channel, and her work has been featured in the media in various publications. Christy Whitman, are you ready to share yourself and the council with the imagination?
I am, Vince. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's so good to have you here. And, you know, it's the last time we talked about bringing the council in, and we're just waiting for the right time. And I think this is a really good time to learn more about the council, talk to them as, you know, we're starting to come out of the COVID experience and the changes that are going on in the world. It might be a perfect time to hear from the super beings about what's happening and what they would like to see for us and from us as we move forward. So could you share a little bit about the council?
Yeah, so I've been channeling, them, hearing them and, seeing pictures they give me for, several years now. And in 2018, they came through me. And ever since then, everything has just pivoted in my life, and being able to do everything with them and have them have a presence, and including a new book that we created together that's just launching called The Desire Factor. And so everything that they teach is really about energy mastery, is about us. It's all been an extension of what I've been doing for 25 years, what I've been teaching for 20 years, which is the universal laws, and being able to really master our own lives and know that we are the creators of our own life experience. And they take it to a whole different level by really teaching us, how do we master our own energy? What does that mean? What does that look like? and really understanding that we're totally loved and adored. And any place that we feel that we're not, those are places that need to have more light, more consciousness, more light consciousness added to ourselves. And so it's pretty amazing, because they don't only just talk and teach, they help people heal. So they can see someone holographically and see where their blocks have been, and help them literally release the blocks, so that person no longer has that imprint, so they're no longer creating from that place.
Excellent. You shared something as a channel myself, the information coming in and the sharing from the council in your case. And then all of a sudden there was a decision for you to allow them to come through, and a decision for them wanting to come through. Could you explain how that happened?
Yeah, so it was interesting. I call it assignments. For years I get these assignments, whether it's a book or to create a program. It's like it literally just drops in my lap. My coaching certification was like that in 2008. It was just this downpour of assignment. And so got this assignment. I had to pull off the road one day because I was driving, and all of a sudden I saw this vision of like all these beings sitting in a circle. And I was just like, what is this? It was like I got in, I saw this a whole other realm. So I pulled off on the side of the road so I wouldn't crash myself or anybody else. And I was just kind of looking up, and the assignment was create a sacred circle of light. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do that. What does that mean? And so they were very specific. Get on Zoom. This is way before COVID, right? Get on a Zoom call, have people come once a week. They get their imprints released. You're the healer. You show up. We'll guide you what to do. Okay. So I had 7 or 8 people that joined right away, and we were going through each person. And it happened to be on this one very auspicious day, which was my son's birthday. So I'll never forget the date. And the last person was going, and normally I could hear them really clearly. It'd be like one very clear voice that would tell me what to tell or where to go, what to do, where to put my hands, it was just always clear. This one lady at the end of the day, or the end of the time together, it was like 9 of them were talking to me. It was like when both my kids talk to me at the same time and I can't hear either one. It's like, wait, what? And all of a sudden I'm like, I don't understand. I can't hear. And my consciousness went out, and I could have sworn, Vince, that my body literally flung over the side of my chair, and I was hearing them. My consciousness was hearing them, and I knew what was happening, but I literally thought I was flung over the chair. And so they came in, and the wisdom that they had was amazing. And then when they left, I was like, oh my gosh, that's never happened before. All my teachers have always been channelers. So it was like, that's never happened. And they're crying, I'm crying. It was amazing. And then to get the video back and to see me straight up, I was not flung over the side of the chair, and to hear my voice, because they do have a different accent, a different way of speaking, a different language. It was quite an experience. And so I kept saying yes to them. They kept saying yes to me. As they describe it, I keep my vibration really high, and they have to lower their vibration so the two realms can mix and be able to have this type of union. So
Excellent.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, let's share them with the imagination.
I would love to. Let me go get them. We are here.
Welcome.
We are delighted to be invited. Thank you, dear one.
Oh, we are honored to have you here and to share the higher vibrations with you. I was wondering if you could share with our audience, what's the message that you're here to bring through Christy?
Really, it's very simple. That everything in your 3D realm is, yes, physical. Everything is physical. But what's underneath the physical is non-physical, is energy. And what is energy? It is the divine creator, if you really want to think about it. So whether it is a plant or a human being or a desk or a rock. Some energy is more dense than others, different from a rock energy than a human being or a plant or an animal. But underneath all things that are material formed is energy. And human beings for far too long have been very much trained, programmed, reared to think that the physical realm is what is real, and become very conditional in this realm, in the sense of, if they have so much money, then they feel secure or happy, or if they have a partner that does such and such, then they can be connected. Or most humans look to their lives in a place of, if that looks good, then I'm happy, or if this performs. It's very conditional. It's very nounish, people, places, and things. So what they do, it's very reactionary. And most human beings do not understand the power that they have, in the sense that each and every one of you, if you are here in a physical body right now, it was designed that way. And that when you understand that whatever your birthing experience or your familial experience was coming into this body, you were designed to be here. You are each individually and uniquely designed to be the conduit for the divine to come through you, for the purpose of creation, for the purpose of, how fun would it be to create through a man named Vince versus creating differently through a woman named Christy that had very different circumstances and conditions. It is fun for the divine that is breathing you, that is your true life partner, to take your unique skill sets and attributes and preferences and things that you love and you enjoy, and to create through you very differently than it would through Christy or many other people. So you are all here for the co-creation. You're here for the mixed bag of physical and non-physical. And it is important for the human to realize that you are the vessel. And so because there is unlimited energy, that energy has potential to literally morph itself into something. And so as it comes into the consciousness of the physical human being, then it forms itself into the reality that the human being experiences. And nothing can outperform or outcreate the consciousness. And so that's the fun part, is that why we are here is to help human beings that are willing, that are able, that are ready for. We know that not all human beings are going to be aligned with what we have to say. So it is a pool, if you will. It is a part of your society, your human experience, that have done the work. They have come to a place of consciousness. They've read the books. They've attended the seminars. They've already been in conscious personal development, spiritual realm for a while, and they want to truly become more masterful of their life by understanding how they are energy, and that they are energy receivers, energy containers, and energy transmitters. And that the importance for everyone to understand is you all have free will and choice. All of you. None of you have got it, and some of you don't. All of you have your own free will and choice. And your own free will and choice is really, where do you put your focus of your consciousness? Consciousness meaning what you say, what you think, what you perceive or believe or expect, what you feel or don't, and the actions that you take. And really, when you come down to it, this is all you really have influence in in your lives. You do not have influence what the government will do. You do not have influence what the virus or non-virus will do. You don't have influence on what your children will say or do or how they will behave. You have influence, but you don't have control over it. But when you focus solely on the child or the parent or the in-laws or the boss or the clients or whomever, the people that are doing things, and then you have a reaction based on what they are doing, based on what they are doing in their own consciousness, now you are not in alignment with your own. And far too many humans are doing this. They are far too reactionary instead of being in energy mastery.
Thank you very much for sharing that. Could you share with the imagination, we don't have influence over others, but we are co-creators with them. Could you explain that concept?
We would love to. Yes, you all have to understand that inside your own consciousness, if you have relationship, if you have someone in your life, they are an attraction point to you. You are in already a relationship with it. It is not a random universe where the people that live next door to you or the clients that come to you or the people that you are intimately involved in. It is not random. It is all attraction, because there are billions and billions of people that are on this planet, and most of them you'll never meet. Most of them will never meet you. And you certainly will not have any type of relationship with them or conversation or depth of anything. It's like they're non-existent for you because you are not in their realm and they are not in yours. So with that being said, the people that are in your life, or even people that have been in your life in the past, all of it is created first inside of you. So your relationship with your in-laws or your children or your parents or your friends or people in your intimate relationships, you first start the relationship inside of you. What you expect from them and how they will show up pulls from them, calls from them how they are to show up. What you expect, if you are saying in your own consciousness, I want to be in love and I really want a partner in my life, and then you attract a partner in your life and you're in love, and then your filter from that place of being in relationship, if it's say a woman and she has imprints from the past because she made a decision very early on that her father, for example, doesn't love her, well, then that translates into men don't love me. So she gets in a relationship with this man who does love her and who does show love, and they are in love. And then all of a sudden they make a bigger commitment. Maybe they get married or they move into it with each other. And then all of a sudden the filter goes over and says, men don't love me, men don't support me. And then that becomes the filter. The man cannot outcreate, she cannot outcreate the filter. And so now he starts showing up aloof. He starts forgetting to text her, or he starts forgetting what she asked for, and he's thinking, why am I doing this? I want to please her, and yet I forget about her. Well, there's a filter that he can't get past and she can't get past because it's a filter. If she would release the fact that her old imprinting and the old decision that she made when she was 5 years old, that her father doesn't love her, therefore, i.e., all men don't love her, then there would be the man able to show up in his fullness for her. It is the same with money. You all have a relationship with money. You have to. You all agreed long before all of you were born that there's a thing called a medium of exchange. So if you want something, you have to pay for something and you get something in return, whether it's heating or air conditioning or gas for your vehicle or a place to live or clothes on your back. This is how you pay for things. And so all of a sudden there's these filters that people with money are bad, or they're greedy, or that the silliness of it is the money is the root of all evil, or that money is really hard to come by, or no matter how much I work, I'll never seem to make enough money. These filters literally are what attract or repel money from you. Money doesn't have an opinion. It doesn't go to who it likes or who it doesn't like. It goes to where it is welcome, and it goes away energetically from where it's not welcome based on the filters. So you are all like a light projector. You have like a movie projector. You all have light accessible and available to each and every one of you. And light is creative. Light is it really pure positivity. And when that light moves into the projector, well, if you didn't have a film in your projector, it would just project light. But many of you, from all the years you've been living and all of the things that you've learned about society and religion and opinions about men and women and this and politics and all of the filters, it's like putting the film into the projector. Well, that then projects onto the reality of your life.
So the lens that we put on our movie projector, or the filter that we're looking at our life through, how do we move beyond those filters, or how do we change those filters, transform those filters in a way that support us?
Well, it's like if you're watching a movie and you do not like the movie, you change the film. Now these days, if you're watching your as Christy and her family, if they're watching a movie on the download TV thing, the satellite, they can just switch the channel or choose a different movie, and that's what will then be projected, because that's what's being chosen. Well, with you humans, it's a little more, we don't want to say difficult, because it's not, it's all energy, but it's a little bit more understanding that it's not just as simple as changing a channel, and yet at the same time it is. When you are seeing something in your life that is projecting from you, and that's the first step, is understanding that life is not happening to you, it's happening with you, and that you are the creator of your life experience, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And if you don't like the bad and the ugly and you want more good, you can literally shift out of what that control is, or what that imprint is. So if you look at something that is happening in your life that is irritating you or frustrating you, or that just doesn't feel good, when you ask yourself, not from a condemnation, judgmental, beat yourself up, judgmental place, but if I'm the creator of my life experience, and this struggle, this contrast, this what thing that I do not enjoy or do not want to continue creating is showing up, what would I have to be projecting? What would I have to believe in order to create this? And when you understand what the belief is, then you have the opportunity to change the belief, and you find it. And here's the really important thing that we are here to teach. It's not just by saying affirmations or putting up a vision board or doing things that's just for the mentality and the mind. It's feeling where that energy of, say, lack resides in the body, so that you, as the energy master, can release that energy of lack and then bring in a new energy of abundance, to release the fear and to bring in the energy of love, of faith. And so it is really about finding, when you were making a decision, like the example we gave before, your daddy loved you very much, but in a certain moment in time, he wasn't paying attention to you. And as a little black and white thinker, as a concrete up, down, left, right thinker, because in that moment, he wasn't giving you the love that you wanted, you decided, you made a decision, daddy doesn't love you, and therefore all men now don't love you. It is literally finding that little one inside of you that made that decision and make a new decision. Let her see from a bigger perspective that no, that is not true. Look at all the other ways daddy loved you. And look at the ways that daddy did show up to show you love. Just in that moment when you decided, there was an imprint that was created. And from that imprint, then to projected what you expected now from the other part of the sex. And so you release that imprint. It's like a caged lion that's been, energy cannot just be as an imprint settling in. It creates a vortex, which that energetic vortex then tracks things to you. If you release that caged lion, which is the energy that's been in there spiraling, when you release it, there's no more. And now you can bring in light and create from light.
Could you speak to us about our creation and co-creation in the things around us, i.e., things like COVID, like our experience of our government with the experience of war in the world, and how our individual energy is a creation of it, but how we create as a collective also?
We can. And here's the thing to understand is that, yes, everything is all inclusive, but someone like yourself is not part of the problem. Someone like yourself is part of the solution. But you, as a light being, as a light worker, and all that you attract, you are not part of the creation of the things that are negative, like, say, the coronavirus. Let's make that the example. In that situation, you have mass consciousness. You have this underbelly of people living in fear and living in lack, which causes a lot of anger, and it causes a lot of frustration and a lot of resentment and hurts and a lot of jealousy and competition. This is the underbelly of what is happening with mass consciousness all over the world. And then you have pockets and parcels of people like yourself and like Christy and others that you know that are light workers that bring in the light. It is the bringers of the light that shed and create possibilities and transformation. And so when you have these light workers that are now popping up all over, more and more all over the planet, you are bringing in higher possibilities, higher vibrations. You are being conduits of this light. This new light and the old underbelly way of being don't mesh very well. The new light has to let go of the dark. And as more of you are bringing in the light, the old ways no longer can survive. And so then what happens is something in this co-creation, this mix of light, this mix of this very unconscious dark energy gets mixed, and it opens up and something is created. And even in this creation of what has happened in your universe, think about it. It is like universal laws. Let's just say like law of attraction. Each one of you has law of attraction that you are working with or dealing with, or a better way of saying it is law of attraction is there working with all of you. And it is what you each individually give out from your own consciousness as to what you attract. So very much, this is the perfect time. This marks a year ago that you all were in a universal, whether you lived in Paris or Italy or Canada or New Mexico or anywhere in the States or Mexico, all of you as a collective consciousness, as the human race, for the first time ever, we're all experiencing the same thing. It was not about women and men. It was not about black or white. It wasn't about religious separation. It wasn't about socioeconomic. It was about all of you experiencing a pandemic. It was universal, just like universal laws. And in that, it became, how are each one of you in your own individual consciousness going to react, going to respond, going to create, going to choose to be with this thing. When Christy first heard about it, she said, okay, well, I'm not going to be in fear. I will do what I need to do, wash my hands, stay 6 feet away from people. I will stay with my family. We will make the best of it. And she even said she was enjoying it because she got more time with her children. They were not doing soccer and school and running here and running there and being with lots of friends. They came together closer as a family. There were more, excuse us, there were more people online that were wanting to have healings. So she made the best of all that was happening in her life by bringing and connecting to the light and not being in the mass consciousness of fear that a lot of people still are in. So you all create together collectively by higher and lower. And what is being birthed is now an opportunity and has been for the last year. It is an amplification time. What is in your own consciousness is being amplified. And it is up to each and every one of you of what's being amplified. Do you want it? If big love is being amplified and trust and faith, great, keep doing it. But if what's being amplified is that you're totally dissatisfied in a relationship, well, you can go back to sleep to that awareness, or you can birth and do something different. Many people felt very lonely, and then all of a sudden they are in lockdown by themselves, and now they feel even more lonely. Well, they had a choice to spiral down into loneliness or wake up and be birthed in the fact that they're never alone. Other people were worried about money. Well, what I got amplified for them was more worry about money. Individually, it was an amplification time. Collectively, it is a time for change.
And what a gift that we brought to ourselves in our co-creation of the coronavirus in that understanding. And we're experiencing the emotions of following this understanding or not following this understanding. Let us, I could talk to you forever and ever and ever, but we're getting close to our time. I was wondering if you would share what energetically the book is bringing to the populace and what you hope people will find in it.
Do you mean the Desire Factor book?
Yes, the Desire Factor book.
Yes, we wrote this with Christy. We downloaded it. It is a lot of her human stories to help really bring in the concepts and solidification. But it is time. It is time to shift your awareness to how powerful all of you really are, and to really understand that your desires, whether it is a time of isolation or lockdown or not, everyone has desires. And the reason you have desires is because the divine is the one that gives you the desires, because the desires are a place of birthing. It is when you receive a desire, it is an opportunity for growth. It is an opportunity for expansiveness. Nothing happens until there's a desire. Nothing gets created. And yet so many humans, they talk themselves out of their desire because they don't believe in themselves. They don't believe they have what it takes, or they don't know how to do it. And so they literally shut down and don't give themselves permission to have their desires. They say, oh, that's too materialistic, or that's impossible, or that'll never happen for me. Or their worry or their fear takes over. And the person that used to tell them that they don't have what it takes, or that they can't do that, or that they shouldn't try so hard or reach for the stars, that voice comes in, and then they stop themselves, which then they don't become who they were born to be. They don't become who the divine that's breathing in wants them to expand into. And so really, this is the premise of the desire factor, is when you have a desire, when you allow yourself to flow with that desire, yes, the fun part for the human is that you get the house or the car or the partner or the more money or the business or whatever, the trip or whatever the person desires. But it is deeper than that for the divine, because who you became from point A to point B is really where the juice is. And that's really what it's all about. And yet there are many even old religions that say that desire is the root of suffering and that you shouldn't desire, when that goes against all that light is and what light is wanting to do with each and every person on the planet, letting pure potentiality come through you individually as a conduit and create with you and through you and for you. And so the desire factor is really us bringing our wisdom through Christy and her 25 years of doing light work to show exactly the step-by-step formula, because many people get the different parts and parcels of it, but it's like a combination lock. If you don't open it, if you don't have it in the sequential numbers, in the exact step-by-step way, the lock is not going to open. And that is why so many people find themselves frustrated when they are trying to work with universal laws or deliberately manifest what they want, is that they are doing it out of order. And so we have literally downloaded this through Christy to say it needs to go in this exact order. And it happens within minutes, all of those steps. There's 7 steps, but all of them are like boom, 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 boom. And when you align yourself with your desires, when you have your full human consciousness, your free will and choice focused on what you want, when you have joyful expectancy, you expect nothing but to feel joy and to experience joy based on when that desire manifests. And you have that feeling of already having it, so that you're a vibrational match to it. You're loving the experience of it. You're then surrendering over all that is not yours to do, the how, the who, the where, the what, the timing, all of this stuff that humans get very wrapped up in their heads about. When you surrender all that and then you take inspired action, you are in the place to allow. We are sorry about voice. You are in the place of allowing your desires to come through you, to birth through you as a conduit for expansion and joy. It's time.
It is time. I am with you 100% in that. It is time. If there was one thing that every single person that listens to this recording takes away from your time with us today and holds on to, what do you want that to be?
Well, we say this every single time because there is no other higher truth. You are infinitely loved, infinitely. And there is nothing that ever stops that flow of infinite love. And when you can allow yourself to start feeling how infinitely loved you are, regardless of your idiosyncrasies or your, we don't like to say ego because you all need your ego. It's part of who you are, part of your personality. It is the limited part. It is the imprinted part that's in lack of limitation, that when you bring that part up to light and understand how truly infinitely loved you are, your life will change in ways that you can't even imagine at this point.
Thank you for that. We truly appreciate it. Thank you for coming and sharing with us today. As I said, I could talk with you forever and ask questions forever, but in our limited time together, you shared so much, and we appreciate you living your mission, your divine intent, by sharing with us so we can live ours.
Thank you, dear one, for the light that you bring. We see you, and you are a definite transmitter of light on this planet. And so you are bringing so much good and influence to all that you are and all that you broadcast too, not just broadcasting in your podcast, but broadcasting the light. Even strangers that you drive by in the car get affected by your light. So there's so much love for you, and you are infinitely loved. Be well.
Be well.
So just allow yourselves to just receive a nice downpouring of light as I come back into my body. Just imagine like you're under a waterfall of light, just receiving in the light. Ooh, they got very passionate. I can feel my throat.
Yes. A wonderful conversation with them, and a true gift that you've given the world by bringing them in and what you're sharing, and definitely a gift from them for the imagination. So thank you for sharing with us today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me back, Vince, and I'm grateful that you asked them to come through this time.
Oh, you bet. Could you share a little bit about what's going to happen with the book so the imagination knows what to look for and when to take action?
Yes. So you can go ahead and go to any online bookstore or any bookstore for that matter that's open. But you can also go to thedesirefactor.com. And the great thing is that because the book is launching, the council and myself are going to do a 4-week live training on the contents of the book in May. And so when you buy a book, you get your ticket into that program. So it's a $700 value. And then you also get 3 other processes and meditations that the council has created. So in total, when you buy a $15 book, it's about $900 worth of value. So you can go to thedesirefactor.com.
Wow, that's amazing. That will truly make a difference in the world. And I'll make sure all that information is available on Christy's show page. And we're going to, I'll tell you what, I'm going to make the title of this episode The Desire Factor. So everybody, when you go, there's a couple episodes with Christy. So make sure you look for the episode with Desire Factor to get all this information on how to get the book. Once again, Christy, thank you so much for sharing with us today. And thank you for being willing to bring the council to the world.
Always. It's my greatest joy. Thank you so much, Vince. I appreciate you having me back on and all that you do.
Thanks. On behalf of Mary, my wife and business partner, and the entire team at Imagine Miracles, we want to wish you a miracle day.
You've completed this episode of The Miracle You, but we have plenty more to help you discover your own personal passion and purpose. Head over to themiracleyou.com for free resources to assist you on your journey, as well as register for our free webinar, Discover Your Miracle Life, 3 mind-awakening steps toward your unique purpose, or apply for a one-on-one Your Life, Your Way breakthrough session and discover your next best step on your journey. All available exclusively on our website. That's themiracleyou.com. We look forward to sharing more experiences of passion, purpose, and life by design next time, right here on The Miracle You.